Wrestling with wrestling's past and present.
How old were you?
I was -3.
JR is trying to contain Jim Ross.
McFlurry,
It's Mick Foley. Do you see any of the aggro crag? Was any of that left over?
No, unfortunately not.
No?
I'm taking some of that home.
Definitely not is the barn burner that Lee Cassidy and Tiger thing was, but we'll leave that there.
We digress.
God, I hope that storyline ends soon.
And 6 to 8 weeks later, they mail you a freaking magnet.
Yep. You may know him as the Red Rooster.
Because it's still real to me, damn it.
He kept making out with his wife. It was weird. So then, I'm waiting for them to put the Selena Vega on a pole match.
And I mean, Big E's got Whale performing in his entrance, so I feel like
Wale.
Wale. I don't listen to. Okay, well, I don't listen to him, so I apologize to Wale.
This is in the mail, my good sir. No, it wasn't.
I feel like Vince is just gonna have them team together and be like, have them call Woo Bro. Like they're just gonna be the Woo Bros. Like, anyway.
Giving us a reason to come here and listen to ourselves talk.
Absolutely,
And then you can listen to us too.
Strap on and balls only on wrestling past and present.
This is Gangrel, the Vampire Warrior, and you're listening to Wrestling where wrestling's past and present.
This is Wrestling with Wrestling's Past and Present. I'm Tim Kirk.
I'm Roland Pulis.
And I'm Mongo.
And this is episode 98, take number 2. Full disclosure, we just finished wrapping up episode 98 to realize we were recording silence the whole time. We are in my kitchen. All three of us are live together for the very first time. Roland and I together for the very first time in person in over a year and a half. And things didn't go off so good.
Take 2, beer 2.
It didn't start so good. We got some new equipment. We're excited to test out for episode 100.
That didn't go well either.
Yeah, that didn't go well. Last week we had some Zoom issues, as Roland would call it. What did you say? We got zoomed.
Zoom.
Bada bing, bada boom. Zoom kicked us out of the room.
Yeah.
So we weren't in the room for StreamYard either.
Right, yeah. So apparently, if anyone uses StreamYard, if you don't add your avatar to the background, apparently it doesn't record anything. So now
but
we know.
It shows you recording,
right?
Until you're done, and then you find out it's a fucking 50-something minute file of just silence.
So we had a banger of an episode that nobody's going to hear ever.
No, nobody, we can't even put it in the blooper reel.
I was trying to debate if we should just went like episode 99 next week, just not even released one this week, and then people have been like, "Hey, where'd the episode go? You find it, let us know."
It's in the cloud. No one knows to get it down. Oh, we're getting tired. But
Yeah,
hey,
we're
this is
getting
part
tired.
2.
Yeah, so this is take 2.
Speaking of take 2, I heard this 2 or 3 are plenty of good deals going on.
Yeah, that wasn't the best segue, but I'll roll with it.
We had a better one earlier.
So that was so forced. Yeah, I know. But thankfully, Clemento's Pizzeria and Brew is sponsoring our podcast. We'll be there for episode 100 on October 29th. It is a Friday night, so not Saturday night. It's a Friday night episode. They have a lot of specials going on. If you mention our podcast now through the end of November. Cheese pizza lovers, you can get a small cheese for $6.99 or a large cheese for $9.99. If you want a domestic beer pitcher to go along with that, that's only going to cost you $8.99.
What if you want to get something to drink and eat?
Wow, I got a deal for you. For $11.99, you can get a 16-ounce draft beer and a steak and cheese.
That sounds like your jam, Tim.
It does. I could use a steak and cheese right now.
Look, my segue earlier was better. You both can admit that, all right? This is like segue 5.
Well, the whole show's going to be better now. The nobody's going to hear.
The first show doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So, like, even though it was really good,
yeah,
you have to trust us because it doesn't exist.
How ironic I'm wearing a Harry delete shirt and the file got deleted.
It never got recorded. It was just fucking air. Like,
if I didn't want to scar Tim and Rowan for life, I'd take the shirt off to give some good love. But
I'm gonna keep my Brian Pillman shirt on. You keep your Matt Hardy shirt on.
I almost wore that Brian Pillman shirt too. It went super awkward.
Rest assured, we'll be fully clothed at episode 100.
Speak for yourself.
Maybe. Anything can happen. No,
anything can happen.
Well, you get a couple of those $8.99 domestic beer pitchers. You never know what's going to happen, right? So let's go back to those Pizzeria and Brew, 160 Washington Street in Rochester. Join us for episode 100 coming your way October 29th.
Steve, if I get one of those pitchers and I just drink right from it, or do I need to put it in a glass? asking for a friend.
Steve, answer us.
Based on this episode, Steve, based on this episode, just put a straw in the damn pitcher.
Wait, were we doing a show too? I can't remember what we were doing.
Yeah, we're doing No Mercy on 3. I don't even know if we mentioned that so far.
Well, 2003.
2003, No Mercy. Man, this sounds familiar. What we're going to be talking about.
Well, it should be fresh.
It should be
in our minds, but not in the cloud.
Yeah. So we'll start off with our heat match. It's Billy Kidman and Shannon Moore. Billy Kidman getting a win in about 5 minutes. Which is pretty a decent amount of time for a heat match, honestly. Usually like they're 1 or 2 minutes. I would have thought this match would have been pretty good. A good way to get the crowd going. Both really good cruiserweights here. So this is actually one I wanted to see as far as heat matches go.
Yeah, and Billy Kidman notoriously for overachieving, not just in wrestling but in life. Getting with Tori Wilson. So again, kudos to him for that. Obviously not there now because she's not with him. But I think that you can go back to Kidman and Hogan in WCW. I mean, he was one of those guys that for some reason just overachieved, and I don't think Bischoff or Vince, anybody thought that he was going to be the level of popularity that he was, but he did. So yeah, it's Shannon Moore, one of those guys that just never really got. Kidman's kind of the same too. Once you get to WWE, just never really had that gimmick that worked out well for him. But Kidman was kind of like Dean Malenko, just didn't really have the charisma. Right, Malenko had a great background of technical wrestling, just no real charisma. Shannon Moore, the same kind of thing where he kind of bounced between gimmicks and it just didn't work. He didn't find a good shtick. And, two of the more underrated performers that came from the acquisition of WCW.
No, exactly. The Cruiserweight division was one of the best things that WCW had going. Chris Jericho made his name in the WCW division and became a megastar, and Billy Kidman was totally underused. And that shooting star press he hits is just, he, like you said, he kills people with it. He hits it. He floats in the air until Brock Lesnar does it, breaks his fucking face at WrestleMania, which if you've never seen Brock Lesnar break his face, I highly recommend it. Normally I don't recommend injury, but his nose bounces off the canvas.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wish we could have seen it too, because Billy Kidman is definitely one of those wrestlers that give a watch, because like Ronald said, his charisma's not there, but his technical prowess is far none above a lot of people.
So we started off the main card with a singles match for the Cruiserweight Championship. You have Tajiri getting a win over Rey Mysterio in a little over 11 and a half minutes. It was kind of weird to see Tajiri as a heel here. I don't remember him having much of a heel run in WWE. I kind of remember him for more comedy stuff, the stuff he did with Regal. So that was a little odd, but this match was great. It was such a great starter match for the card. A lot of, two contrasting styles with the striker and the high flyer. I thought the finish was pretty creative with the fans coming in with their obviously plants. They were Jimmy Wayne Yang and Ryan Sakota. Ryan Sakota just recently passed away just a couple weeks ago, so thoughts and prayers to his family. But I thought it was a clever finish to the match and a really good start to the show.
Let's not forget that leading up to this show, Tajiri blinded a woman.
That's true.
Nydia gets the black mist where, like, Taz, for some reason, trying to decide which color of mist is the worst. Mm-hmm. I've had the green mist in my face, but the black mist, that probably burns really bad. Permanent damage to Nydia. So, Tajiri was full-blown heel at this point. Like Tim said, it's interesting to go back and look at it because I don't remember him that way either. But he could have been, I think, a very menacing type of heel in the Cruiserweight division had they kept that division going and let him be a heel. So, and two guys that are still going to this day that can still go at a pretty high level. I mean, obviously they're not going at the level they are if they were then, but they're still more than serviceable sports entertainers. I'm not going to, Rey Mysterio is a sports entertainer. Tajiri's a wrestler. So.
Yeah, no, like you said, Tajiri is one of the best, wrestlers in the world, and just he doesn't get to showcase his talent as much as you'd probably like to see. I mean, the Cruiserweight Classic, him coming back and having that good return. Him over in Japan, he's like one of the best trainers. Him and Taka Michinoku, who also had a cup of coffee in WWE before he broke his face. Two people break his face in this one episode, apparently. Renowned trainers for New Japan Pro Wrestling and their own schools. So it's kind of cool to see that their influence will always be on wrestling because this was a good match. And, 3 years later, Ray would go from the light heavyweight title to the world heavyweight title because weights don't matter, apparently.
Yep. Yeah. And, it makes you really look back on the things that happened in 2003 from a different perspective because you don't expect a Rey Mysterio to win a world heavyweight title.
Not at all.
And that's part of the mystique of it. But it also shows you that, you can't limit yourself no matter what you do. So it's good that they didn't just kind of like pigeonhole these certain performers, the top performers in the cruiserweight division, to just being a cruiserweight, which is kind of what they did for 205 Live, is they just pigeonhole these poor bastards into they're a cruiserweight on their own show. It's like, no, some of these guys, like a Tony Nese, those guys, they're built. They're like brick shit houses. Like they could be Intercontinental or a
Buddy Murphy.
Like there's guys that you could use on both shows. And back then they weren't afraid to do it. And this time, they don't want the vanilla midgets anymore.
I mean, you think they took 205 seriously? I mean, they let Enzo be the champion of the cruiserweight division. It was so bad that Pac literally quit because Enzo became the champion. And then, unfortunately, Pac's demeanor is shown too because then he almost didn't work Double or Nothing because he didn't want to lose. So, like, it just goes to show you that some people got bitter from that, and Vince killed a lot of careers. Like you said, Tony Nese. Mm-hmm. I saw him at Mania 35. He was one of the opening matches. And at paper, I'm like, I don't really care to see Tony Nese and Buddy Murphy. But that's one of the matches I remember from WrestleMania 35 is Tony Nese versus Buddy Murphy because it was an absolute banger of a match.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's certain people in that division that don't have to be just pigeonholed in that division, and Rey Mysterio is a prime example of it. Mm-hmm. But Vince, for whatever reason, if again the whole vanilla midget thing, and if you didn't hear that, that's what he calls people that are under like 6'3" and 280. They're vanilla midgets at this point. And it's like, no, they're actually like bigger than an average sized person. Like they're a good sized person. They're just not freakishly big. They're not almost. They're not
almost a wrestler.
That's a good one too. They're not built like a Dabba-Kato, Commander Aziz. They're not these big menacing people, but like they're also not small either. They're not 5'9". They're not 5'7". They're still. I mean, I'm 6'2". Like I'm a pretty tall guy. I think I'm pretty. It's just weird to think that anybody like under 6'2" is short, according to Vince. And it's like, no, they're not. They're really not.
And Vince wants the land of the Giants, but look what he used to have for rings back then. He had like cement rings because you'd have Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Ultimate Warrior, Lex Luger, Bundy, Typhoon. Mm-hmm. Like you would have all these big menacing people there, but that's not what wrestling is anymore. That's what it was. That's when it was an attraction. Mm-hmm. And I get it. That's the Carney route. But Rey Mysterio, Tajiri worked at this great match. They both their chemistry flowed. They had different styles. They both, Tajiri doing the Triumph show is still one of the things that gets me popped every time. When he kicks you, it looks like he's kicking your freaking head off, like Daniel Bryan does, or Bryan Dennis, or whatever we're calling him now.
Whoa. Somebody else owns that IP. You need to be careful.
Oh, that's right. Yay! You
can't do that other chant.
Right? No. Oh, can't do that one either.
Can't get that one either.
Nah.
But wasn't Scorpio his therapist? Therapist for Scorpio Sky?
Well,
Our next match is a singles match. You have Chris Benoit getting a win over A-Train by submission in about 12 and a half minutes. The match was better than I thought it was going to be. I didn't have any expectations for this. I'm not a big A-Train, Tensai, Lord Tensai, Sweet Tea Tensai, Albert, whatever.
Prince Albert,
Matt Bloom. Not a big fan.
Future Endeavor. What?
Right? Not a big fan of his work, but he put on a good show. I did like the ending where they did the submission finish by the sharpshooter. I think that was pretty obvious to attribute this to Hart, who just passed away a couple of days before the pay-per-view. And I know, there was that scary bump where A-Train tripped on a chair and just dropped Chris Benoit on his head. So that was a brutal botch to watch, a little cringe-worthy. But, overall, like I said, for not having any expectations for this match, I thought it was, pretty good.
There was a spot in the match where Taz tries to do Steiner math, where he talks about Tensai being like 6'8", or Albert, whatever you want to call him, being 6'8", and then he extends his arms for a German suplex. So like he went like from 6'8" to 7'2" and all this stuff. And even Michael Cole's like, what? And then he had to explain him in the next. He's like, I was just saying because he was up in the air. And Cole's like, I know, I get what you were trying to say. But Yeah, he had him up for a press slam, and from at least 7'2", according to Taz,
and a half.
Drops him square on his head, just over behind him. I mean, the worst part was too is that when he slipped, he dropped him behind him, so he couldn't even help slow his fall. If he had dropped him in front of him, he could have tried to grab him, but he dropped him behind him, so it was just fuck, he's gone. he fell on his head. It was a brutal spot. These two guys had a physical match, and it reminds me how good of and I say this every time, and it's probably not the hottest take in the world. It's probably a little bit out there, but knowing what Chris Benoit would become later in life, he had some really good matches with some less than stellar opponents. That's what I will say. He could go with anybody, and this proved it. Nobody thought going into this with Albert that this would be a classic, and it actually was a pretty decent wrestling match.
Yeah, no, I said it was about a 2 out of 5, which is not saying it's a bad match. Just from a pure wrestling standpoint, Chris Benoit was really the only wrestler in there. Albert was more like you both said. He's more the Vader type. He's the brawler. He's the bruiser. He's going to pick you up and throw you. I mean, he does do that cool sit down powerbomb thing. I think we call it derailer or something like that.
Yeah. He
called it the A-bomb for a while. So he does have that cool move where he kind of it's basically a lowdown, but him sitting down slower.
Kind of, yeah.
But the funny thing I noted that was the crowd chanting "Shave Your Back" and bringing that chant out of a memory from the subcockles in my brain that I didn't know still existed.
But what are your brain?
The subcockles.
The subcockles. Okay.
You don't know? I'm guessing you don't know the Dennis Leary song.
No.
ASSHOLE. I'm an asshole. Yeah. So Tim, that's your assignment. You need to look up the song "Asshole" by Dennis Leary.
Okay.
That's one thing I will say is that our texting group, we've learned that Tim is very sheltered when it comes to some of the pop culture stuff that Mongo and I know, or that we think Tim should know, that he have missed over the years.
But you guys are a little bit older than me too, in all fairness.
No, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying we've learned that there's certain things.
Good thing.
Yeah,
right. DDP over here.
And I've also learned that Mongo doesn't know how to use StreamYard when it comes to recording.
Okay, we're going to go there. Tim is not out of episodes. Last week?
I will say that even throughout this, I did learn that you can go and get a great pizza in Rochester.
Yes, at Clemento's Pizzeria and Brew. Mention our podcast now through the end of November. You will get a great special: $6.99 for a small cheese, $8.99. $9.99 for a large cheese. But there is an $8.99 special. That is a domestic beer pitcher, and then you have a 6-ounce beer and a steak and cheese sub for only $11.99. How cool is that? Oh, when you mention our podcast, Wrestling with Wrestling's Past and Present, we'll be there October 29th. It is a special Friday night live episode. It is episode 100. We're going to do a Rampage watch along, have some giveaways, lots of other stuff going on for you there as well. Hopefully we'll have equipment that works by then. We tried some out today and didn't go so smoothly, but
hey, we can't have Rampage play twice. So
that's true. We're going to have to get this right
because we were going to do it live.
I think we ordered the right equipment pieces that we were missing. So hopefully that will all work out well.
And full disclosure, we just started using StreamYard, so this is actually the first time that Tim's used it by himself.
Yeah,
in charge of the podcast. Last week we used it. Mongo had it on his end, so
we're
working the kinks out.
So I'll be driving at the live. We'll make sure they go.
Wait a minute, whoa. I asked you if we were all set to go, and you said we were.
I asked you if you had it last week's episode.
Hey, you guys have done
9.
How the hell did we get 4 to 3?
97 episodes, and I missed one edit. And Mongo's watching the baseball.
No, that's not Mongo. It's Roland.
Roland's watching the baseball.
So any sports fan that Roland's watching the Red Sox game, we forgot about the homer that was solo homer that was driven into left.
I know, but now the bases are loaded. Toronto now. Altuve again.
So,
throw it, Kike.
So this is a live podcast at Tim's kitchen of Roland watching the Red Sox.
All right, yeah. So this is what you're going to get at the show. You're going to have Squirrel Roland, being a little off topic.
And remember, this is take 2 of this episode.
It's almost Saturday at this point.
Yeah.
The first episode.
Why Tim's feisty. He's getting tired.
Yeah. Well, the first episode
was
really good.
It was good.
And I'm not saying this one's bad. I'm just saying that it sucks that it's just not there.
Yeah.
So, but anyways.
So we move on. This next match is Zach Gallen versus Matt Hardy version 1.
V1!
Still skipping on you right again for the second time.
Damn it.
You don't want to talk about someone potentially raping another man.
No, rhymes with great. We can't say that.
That's why I said potentially. We don't know what happened. I mean, Michael Cole's still scarred for life from it. We don't know what happened.
Wrestling fans are scarred to have to see him wrestle.
Yeah. One thing we've learned: hide and make scars people.
That's right.
And ruins legacy of tag teams. But I'm not going to go into that rant again. So go ahead, Tim. Sorry.
What a rush.
So, Zach Gallen and Matt Hardy. This was the let me out match for me of the show. Zach. I give Zach Gallen a lot of credit. He can really wrestle. Especially given his physical condition. So I give him a lot of credit. But this one just didn't do anything for me. I wasn't a fan of this Matt Hardy character.
You weren't a fan of V1?
I was not, no. But I know Mongo was a fan of the Matt Facts.
Yeah. Hey, let's not forget that Zach Gallen was the proverbial one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest.
That's true.
I got that in the last time. I had to get it in this time, too. I know last time didn't exist, but...
Was Mongo prepared with the Matt Facts or no?
Well, no, because I had them on the first episode, but thankfully I remember at least the good ones. But yeah, so put me on the spot, thanks.
You're the reason why we're doing that. But take 2 years. So
Mongo fact.
Whoa.
He remembered the Matt Facts.
Whoa.
Whoa.
So,
Bro.
I understand that I didn't know buttons to click the StreamYard, but whoa.
Is that English? What did you just say?
Well, it's like Family Guy. Whoa.
What is that? I don't even
It's
know.
like reading one of his texts.
I came over to get this abuse, by the way, in person. So anyway, yes, Tim didn't like V1. Best part for me was the entrance music and the Matt Facts. Yes, I am the human body in my text right now because it is midnight. It is take 2 because of StreamYard not telling us that it doesn't record if you're in the room. That it minimized. So whatever, shit happens. But
Speaking of that, I'm still in the room, right?
This one would not be. Yeah. So anyway,
There would be no 98. It would be 97 and then 99.
That's right.
again, doomed from the start. But yes, so not only did Matt have his great Matt facts every week, but some of the good ones, he had Matt has survived 5 automobile accidents. Matt has better abs than Tajiri. I mean, Matt.
We can't even get the Matt Facts right.
Sorry. Well, Matt ate more sushi than Tajiri, and then Tajiri's too fat to be in the Cruiserweight division, essentially what it was. So, you know what?
Better abs than Rikishi.
Rikishi, look. Let's just go to the next thing because this match sucked, all right?
Take 3.
Well, the next match isn't really any better.
Is it the Bashams match?
Yeah.
Tim's dying.
I'm dying over here. We have the Basham brothers, Doug and Danny, with Shaniqua.
Shanae.
She won tough enough, believe it or not, and this is what happens to their winners.
They're going to get a win over the APA in a tag team match, 9 minutes. I don't remember anything about this match, to be honest with you.
We talked about it once already. You don't.
We did talk about it, and I'm saying the same exact thing. Like, I still don't remember it. Not much going here. So, yeah. Nothing here.
Again, I had graded this a yawn out of 5 because it was the APA in their last run, surprisingly, against the Wish version of Doc Anderson and Gallows. So Carl Anderson and Gallows. Like, seriously, it's
Doc Anderson.
It is midnight. I'm tired. I work this morning. Doc Gallows, Carl Anderson, whatever.
Oh, fuck. You better have some security.
He probably did because he said he ate more sushi than him. Look, it's an Angel Fire website. Do you know how long it takes those to load?
Yeah, but they didn't say Doc Anderson.
I combined names because I'm reading my 3-year-old handwriting. Right? I scratched the notes up because we went over these already.
This is what happens when you have to record 2 episodes in one night and in the same fucking episode. This is what you get because the second one is just frustration and delirium, and we're doing our best here.
I barely pick on Mongo.
Here's the thing. I will say that the match sucked. So no matter what Mattitude fact or what, this match, unfortunately, the APA was kind of done a little bit dirty here because the Bashams weren't anything special. The best part of this match was the segment afterwards where they tried to talk about Shaniqua's breast implants that were actually from the clothesline from hell, and the swelling was, the doctor said, might be permanent.
as the Bashams are motorboating them.
Yeah, they, it was almost like the China segment when in DX when she got her boobs and just showed up and they kept like, you know, it was very similar actually. And I will say that Shanae kind of looks like Jade Cargill's mom or sister. Very similar build, very similar look. And I know what Shanique was, so don't at me for that. I just thought it was funny to call her Shanae. Anyhow, unfortunately, these two matches, they kind of put them back to back. So I will say that these are the two matches you can skip on the card. Everything else is pretty solid. These two matches,
I'm not saying anything more. This match sucked.
I don't blame you.
So next up is we gotta talk about this. It's the I Quit Loser Gets Fired match. Between
Low key, this was Tim's favorite match on the card.
Well, I'm gonna get to that. It's Vince McMahon.
Yeah, but just like 20-minute love fest earlier.
Well, maybe he didn't. We don't know that. We don't know what we don't. It doesn't exist.
That's
We
true.
don't know. It's not there.
It was deleted.
There's no record of it.
You know, the broken one is the one who's driving tonight, and broken people do delete
Oh,
things.
Jesus. That's true. That's true. Tim is still not the same since that one show. Anyways,
We don't talk about that.
yeah.
So it's Mr. McMahon and Stephanie McMahon in an I Quit Loser Gets Fired match. Stephanie can win by pinfall or submission.
Because Vince is very generous.
Yes, he's a kind guy.
Yeah.
I said this in the first episode or whatever, but I really enjoyed this. This was Attitude Era to me. This is entertaining. I know it's scripted. It's a show. I don't advocate for a man to beat his daughter in real life, then push his wife down and make out with some other girl. No, I don't advocate for that in real life. But in wrestling sense, in the entertainment sense, it's really entertaining. So I really enjoyed this one. This is WWE. This is Attitude Era for me, and I enjoyed it. I mean, who can't, if you can't be enjoyed by a man choking his daughter with the lead pipe, then who are you?
Yeah. What kind of animal are you?
Yeah.
You can't be enjoyed by that.
I know.
So the one takeaway from this this is a no hold bar match,
Mhm.
correct? Right?
Yes.
Then why, during the match, when Stephanie had Vince pinned, did he put his foot on the rope, causing a rope break during a pinfall? Anybody?
Beats me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Should have beaten him too, but it was a rope break.
It is what it is. But definitely. Tim's not advocating for it. Neither am I. But it was pretty entertaining. I will agree that it was set up well. The lead up to it was very good. It does kind of highlight the kind of shitbag that McMahon is to, want some of this to be done. In the first episode that we don't have anymore, we talked about the Eric Bischoff segment.
Yeah.
Vince pretty much standing in the corner saying, put your tongue in her mouth. It's like, that's your daughter, dude. Like, why are you want some guy to? Anyways, not only that, your married daughter or at the time seriously involved with Triple H. Like, yeah, just fucking kiss him. Get in there, pal. It's like, okay, Vince, calm down. Ironically enough, on Matt fact, we'll call it an Eric Bischoff fact. He's kissed both female McMahons. And apparently likes Linda more because, the more mature experience. Yeah. But yeah, this was the embodiment of what WWE entertainment was in that era involving Vince McMahon. Always had some mistress or some woman or a family member. There was always something going on with the McMahons. So that's what this was. And yeah, where else can you see a daughter get choked out by her father with a lead pipe? And the mother have to throw the towel in.
And this is clearly Sable's punishment, for her suing WWE for wrestlers shitting in her gym bag, which surprisingly has happened more than once to more than one wrestler. So what the hell is going on backstage at wrestling where people are taking dumpers in people's duffel bags?
They did it when Jerry Lawler first came to WWE. They took a shit in his crown.
I guess I don't get that, but I also don't get this storyline. Like, Vince always has to have a creepy family storyline where, like Roland said, he's having Eric Bischoff make out with his daughter, and he's like encouraging it, like a little kid trying to encourage his mom to buy cotton candy. And then, you have this where he's physically manhandling his daughter and his wife. So
his wife of 37 years.
And just the fact that they went along with it just kind of shows that they probably have no choice because Vince gets his way because he's that weird freak. But I guess I don't get why you'd want to have those kind of storylines.
Yeah.
But from a match standpoint, it was entertainment because There was some Gaga that was shenanigans, the awful low blower. She hit him right in the ass cheek instead of his grapefruits. And it was fun, but it's not something that would really age well today. It's, Tim likes to always say it's not something you could really see on the cock today, but they still have it on there.
If you were a woman and you had a low blow your father, would you really want to get in there? And I'm just saying.
I don't know if I wanted his ass cheeks either.
I think that's the safest part to go, though. I mean, I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want, if I'm her, I wouldn't want to go anywhere near his junk.
Also, for someone supposedly being a billionaire, why do they always just wear black jeans and a black tank top?
Because it showed off his physique when he walked in the ring in the refrigerator.
I can't wait for the steroid trial, dark side of the ring, so we can see where he gets those muscles from.
I go, bro. Clearly.
I wonder if it's the same place Peyton Manning got his delivered from.
By the way, just in case.
Woo!
Okay. Good lord. So next up is Kurt Angle versus John Cena in the singles match. Match was about 18 and a half minutes. This is heel Cena with his rap gimmick. He cuts a really strong, passionate rap beforehand. It's something you couldn't get away with today, but it's pretty entertaining to go back.
Talking about Kurt Angle swallowing and
and Kurt Angle was the face here. So this is prime Kurt Angle and a upstart John Cena. So two different wrestlers in their different aspects of careers. So it really worked well here. Storyline, they had great chemistry. It was a really awesome match. John Cena tapped out. One of the times he tapped out in a match to the ankle lock. So I really enjoyed it. It's a phenomenal match, probably the best match of the night. And I just the one takeaway that I got from this match was to have something if they turned Cena heel soon or like recently, because he could play the heel character really well. They just didn't pull the trigger on it. I think as a fan, I think we kind of missed out on a great opportunity there. But this was a phenomenal match.
No. Oh. I had that CD.
So you think you're untouchable? Yeah, that John Cena, the basic thugonomics John Cena. Low key was one of my favorite characters for some of the stuff he was able to do, because it was very Attitude Era-esque as they were coming out of the Attitude Era. Some of the stuff, like we said in his promos, his raps that he would say, you definitely couldn't say today, and it was pushing the envelope then. I think this character would have been a good character to have later on when they turned him heel. We talked about that. Vince, for whatever reason, didn't want to turn him heel, but clearly, I think, a hot take, I think Cena was better heel than he was a face.
This is when I liked John Cena the most. I had my Ruck Fools hat, my Word Life shirts. This is when I really enjoyed when he had the U.S. title and turned the U.S. title into a spinner. When this match, you had Taz calling him up like, Kurt Angle put his gold medals in the corner, and then Taz like, and John Cena put his padlock in the other corner because he wore the bike chain with a friggin' padlock on it, and
he tried to use it in the match.
Came out with the brass knucks, and he always had the different towns jerseys, and I like that he would always troll the current towns. Like if he was in Montreal, he'd have a Bruins jersey. And I remember one of the best lines he had is, and you're like the Canadian diving team, making fun of Montreal Canadiens for always taking dives. Or like Roland said in this one, him making fun of Kurt Angle. The whole lead up was great. Mm-hmm. You go YouTube his raps. If you think Max Caster is good now in AEW, watch Cena, because I guarantee this is where Caster got his inspiration.
Well, and that's one thing I will say too, is that the video package for this beforehand was really good. And WWE is very good at telling stories. We already know this, but the video package was great. So I'll give him credit for that.
Next up was the singles match for the United States title. You have Big Show getting over Eddie Guerrero, who was the champion coming into it, in 11 and a half minutes. I know Mongo wasn't really, looking forward to this match, but I think entertainment-wise, I think it hit all the marks here. You had Classic Eddie distracting the referee, hitting brass knucks, hitting the trash can lid, using the belt. There's so many false finishes here, but they didn't seem like they were too predictable false finishes, so I think add to the match. I think it's a little surprising Big Show actually went over here, because you don't really a lot of like big guys in wrestling, the Giants, they don't win a whole lot of titles. So it's a little odd, I guess, to see Big Show go over and get the title here. So I thought entertainment-wise it hit all the marks, but it just made me miss Eddie and just miss his antics. And we might be doing a special on Eddie coming up a little bit, do a little something different, so that something down the pipeline for you guys. But overall, I was really just entertained by this match.
Yeah, if anything, it literally shows you how much Eddie is missed in today's product. He could have been a great manager, a great coach, just a great wrestling mind, somebody that was gone way too soon and could have a good match. They say the proverbial Shawn Michaels could have a match with a ladder, that the Razor Ramon ladder match was just Shawn having a match with a ladder. Well, Eddie was one of those guys that could have a match with a ladder or a broom or what he was that entertaining and could carry a match. And the whole lie, cheat, steal gimmick is one of the more iconic gimmicks today. I mean, I can't think of much that's held up in the past, 18 years that it's that iconic. There's not very many. And it just, like Tim said, it makes you appreciate Eddie and makes you miss him all at the same time.
You've said it perfectly. Lie, cheat, and steal. One of the most iconic images I always remember is, it's not this match, but it's when Kurt Angle put him in an ankle lock and he had unlaced his boot, and Kurt Angle takes the boot off, and then Eddie rolls him up for the victory. This match too, he was doing all his shenanigans, and like Tim said, the false finishes were causing shots to the head to Big Show. And if you were watching this first time, you're like, oh, Eddie's got a chance, he's gonna get it, and that's what made his WrestleMania win that much more special. And this match, I went into it saying, I don't want to see Big Show squash Eddie. They let Eddie showcase his gimmick, and that's what made the match. And like Roland said, he can have a match with anyone. He could have been in there with someone from the audience and had a match and made the guy in the audience look fantastic, because that's the kind of worker he is and was. And like Roland said, him and Benoit are gone too soon. And yeah, we know we're not going to gloss over the Benoit situation, but from a wrestling standpoint, when he was alive, those two changed the industry for the better.
Yeah, absolutely. We're just watching the end of the Sox game here. So our main event here is a biker chain match for the WWE Championship. Brock Lesnar is the champion. He's going to retain over The Undertaker in 24 minutes, which felt like 24 hours. I have a couple problems with this. First, it's a biker chain. So it's a chain on a pole. Bro. But you don't have to use the chain to win. You can just win by pinfall submission without using the chain.
The chain could just fucking hang there.
Yeah, it's no disqualification. My thought was it should
sort of a no disqualification.
Another rope break.
Rope break. Yeah,
sort of.
Yeah. My thought was have it, like a strap match, but instead of the strap, you have the chain. That would make more sense to me. Or
Tim's always trying to find a way to get strap on into our show.
Yeah, I know.
It's in the intro. It's why it's our show.
Put a strap on the one.
But anyways, so I had a problem with that. And then you have the full-blooded Italians come in, Nunzio, Johnny the Bull, Colombo.
Who I forgot was even in the freaking
what? And then
everyone else.
Then Vince McMahon comes out, costs the Undertaker the match. Brock Lesnar hits him with the chain. The match itself, the wrestling, it was a fine match, but it did not need all this gaga associated with it. It took away from the main event for me. They put on a decent match without the interference, without the stupid stipulations, but everything that all took away from the main event. So I thought this main event was kind of a letdown for me. And yeah, just too much shenanigans going on.
Yeah, it random run-in with the FBI too.
Yeah,
it seemed out of place. It wasn't as if it was really affiliated with Vince or with Brock. Really, it was just kind of like the FBI showed up. It's like, wait, why? But yeah, like Tim said, the match itself wasn't a terrible match. A, it was just a little bit too long, and B, there was just a little bit too much gaga. And then, yeah, for some reason, it's no DQ, anything goes, biker chain on a pole match, and for some reason, a rope break happened. Just like in the Vince and Stephanie match, for some reason, a rope break. Listen, bro, if you're going to have gimmick matches, that's fine. But know your rules. Like, if it's no DQ, a rope break doesn't matter. Like, just the simple nuances of something like that bugs the crap out of me. I don't know if it's the older I get, and I actually put one of the comments on one of the things you posted about the superhuman guy there. I said something, and I was like, maybe I'm just the get off my lawn guy. I'm getting older, but like the nuances like that bug me more now than they ever did, because it's like we already know it's predetermined. but like, don't make us feel like we're stupid. Like, you're telling us it's a no DQ match, anything goes, but a rope break still is a thing.
That's the downfall with WWE and their gimmick matches. They like the cool names, like we said before, or they want some sort of aesthetic, and that's what all the ch- was. It was an aesthetic. Some poor intern set up the pole on the turnbuckle, and they kept, oh my God, Brock Lesnar's near the chain. Oh, Undertaker. Okay, they're beating the shit out of everything else. So what does the chain matter? And then when Brock Lesnar finally, that's what ends the match. Essentially, is Brock Lesnar has the chain, and Vince interferes, and like you had said earlier on the recording doesn't exist. Vince basically about shit himself when he pushed Undertaker down, and the random lights going out to, which I'm guessing was to let Vince slide into the ring.
But it's almost like after Vince pushed him, he didn't know what to do next. He just like stood there like died. It's like he's like oh, I pooped. Like, what do I do? Like,
Oh my quad!
it was just weird. Like, I don't understand what was I don't know if he was waiting for something else to happen. He looked like he was. It's probably like he gives Bruce Pritchard now. Like when they're talking about stuff backstage, he's just not there.
What do you mean? A podcast to do on Friday?
Yeah. God damn it! That's the same day as SmackDown. Anyways, but yeah, it's just one of those things that is kind of nitpicking because the match itself wasn't too bad, and even this card itself wasn't that bad. Would I have liked to have not had the rope break in there and all that stuff? Yeah. But did it make the match unwatchable? No, it didn't.
I mean, Undertaker and Brock Lesnar have had better matches. I can think of the Hell in the Cell they had back in 2002, or even the WrestleMania 34, ending the streak.
Ball taker.
Yeah, Ball Taker. Or even that awkward, I can't remember, I think it was SummerSlam when they sat up and started laughing at each other. It became a meme.
That fucking meme's hilarious.
And like, I like the one, I don't know if you've seen it, where it's two toilets. Yeah. It's two toilets. It's like how I picture you using it. And it's both of them sitting up staring at each other awkwardly because that's how it would be like, I'm pooping too. Like, also, side note, it's 12 o'clock. I'm taking a lot of road abuse and I'm tired, so that's why we're doing poop jokes. And we're talking about Vince, who loves the cock.
Yeah, Vince loves poop jokes.
But I mean, I'd probably give this show a good 5.5, 6.
Yeah, I give it a 6 too. I think if you're looking for wrestling matches to watch, watch the Angle Cena match, obviously with the close second being the Tajiri Mysterio match. If you're looking for entertainment, if you're sadistic entertainment,
Like Tim.
Yeah, like me, like watch the Mr. McMahon Stephanie McMahon match, and also watch the Big Show Eddie match if you're looking for pure entertainment because it was funny. There were some funny spots in there, and it was entertaining. So a lot of good stuff to watch on this card. The middle there, not so much, but towards the end, a lot of good stuff there.
Yeah, I would rate it somewhere between a Sean Waltman and a Dustin Rhodes.
That's 6 and 7 for those who don't know.
Yeah. That 7 promo, the best promo of all time, I think.
When he gave up on it?
Yeah,
like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
I love that promo.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't start off, not to totally derail, it didn't start off with the greatest thing when he's staring at a little kid's window.
But the promo when he's like, I want you to take a look at the shit I'm wearing. Like
the promo of that, and then the promo where the Booker Man promo.
Oh yeah,
that
was
one
Brian Pillman.
Where and that wasn't scripted. That he just said it. It was like
that was in a match.
Well, it wasn't even. That's when they had to have Arn Anderson come out and save the match with Sullivan.
Yeah,
because they didn't. They're like, what do we do?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it definitely lacked a little bit in the middle, like Tim said. And if you have 2 hours. Just cut out the Basham Brothers APA match and the Matt Hardy match. Cut those matches out, and you can watch 2 hours straight of just entertainment. There was some good wrestling in there too. I know Vince doesn't like that word. Sorry, Papa Vince. But I think this was low key one of the more entertaining shows that I've watched recently. That I wasn't expecting it to be entertaining. It definitely surprised me a little bit. And even, like I said, those 2 matches that you could do without, they weren't the worst thing in the world either.
No, we've covered a lot worse matches.
We covered shows that had matches like that.
Yeah.
The whole show. So, yeah.
So.
I mean, Unforgiven 99 happened. WCW 2, I mean, I can't go there, has happened.
Whoa.
But, yeah.
I don't know if you got the shirt on.
Yeah.
But keep it on. I don't know.
Yeah, no, trust me, don't worry. I'm not scarring you guys for life.
So that's our rundown.
He pulls a fucking Hulk Hogan and just rips right out. Brother!
No, this is a wrestling crate shirt. It ain't ripping this thing. It's blue. It's one of the rare colors.
Sort of, yeah. It's definitely not black. Yeah, speaking of that, how come everywhere you go, no matter who it is, all the fat guys get stuck with black fucking shirts. No matter where you get.
Because it's slimming.
Well, sure it is, but like everything sticks to it. Like this shirt I just washed, and it's got fucking hair all over it. I didn't roll around in any hair or nothing. But like, prime example, like you go to WWE shop, every shirt there, like if you filter it by shirts that aren't black, you get like 4 shirts, and like 2 of them are big enough to fit Tim and I. Mongo's a little more slim than us, so.
Or they're awkward colors, like when Johnny Gargano had that bright ass yellow shirt. Like I love you, Johnny Gargano, but I'm not going out there and looking like Paddington Bear walking down the street.
Dude, I bought the Dolph Ziggler pink shirt just because it wasn't fucking black.
And your New Day,
yeah,
it was blue.
Yeah, with the FTR one because I liked it was yellow. But like, it's just weird. Like, why? In this day and age, we have great graphics, great pictures. Why can't we just have fucking shirts that aren't all black? Like, why? AJ Styles comes out with a new shirt every month, and they're all fucking black.
Yeah, I have a blue shirt because of that reason.
I have the blue and the red, but like the last 10 shirts he's had have been looking cool. One's black and yellow, one's black and red, one's black and fucking whatever the one he's got now is black and something.
Even Eric Bischoff didn't have a black shirt, and his damn entrance music was basically by AC/DC, whose song was famous, Back in Black.
Right. Well, I know we're at the end of the episode, so we're just kind of like spitballing stuff. And this is what you're going to get at the 100th episode, where you can go to Clemento's, and according to Tim, there's some pretty good deals there.
Yeah, well, you have to mention our podcast first, though. Wrestling with Wrestling Past and Present. To get in on these specials, you have until now.
That's how you do the same way.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a lot better. Now through November, end of November, I should say. If you want a cheese pizza, the small one's going to cost you only $6.99. A large one only $9.99.
What if you're hungry and thirsty?
Wow, then I got a deal for you. For $11.99, less than $12, you can get a 16-ounce draft beer and a steak and cheese sub.
That's the Tim special.
If you just want to sit there and have a few drinks, we'll get a domestic beer pitcher for only $8.99.
Steve, full disclosure, when we have the podcast, Steve answered me too. Like, you need to listen to this episode. You need to message me. Can I just drink it from the pitcher? Am I allowed to?
You can put a straw in there too, based on how this episode's going.
Oh no, I just want to make sure because like, why dirty a cup? Like, if I'm going to buy the pitcher, we're going to be there for 3 hours. I'm going to drink the pitcher.
So that's all coming your way. October 29th, episode 100, live from Clemento's Pizzeria and Brew. You can visit them online, ClementosPizzaandBrew.com, 160 Washington Street, Rochester, New Hampshire. Come join us, episode 100. It is a Friday night live show, so it's not a normal episode time on a Saturday. It's going to be a live show starting around 9:30, 10 o'clock, somewhere in there. We're going to
Rampage starts at 10, so we're going to start a little before that.
Yeah, we'll do a Rampage watch-along, giveaways, lots of other stuff going on. So join us there at Clemento's Pizzeria and Brew, and we certainly thank them for sponsoring this podcast.
We should have some giveaways, some merch, some great stuff. I have my wife.
Thanks, Amber.
Yeah, my wife.
We're not giving his wife.
No. My wife is making some cool swag for you guys. She makes all of our pictures too. She's the more famous of the four of us.
She's got an autograph. She's been asked for autographs before.
Yeah. So I mean, hey, if you guys see her at the podcast at Clemento's, ask for her autograph. Take it. It's fine. She loves doing it.
Yeah.
But anyways, so yeah, no, thanks to her for everything she does. She's definitely been a godsend for the show, for the pictures and just the little things that we don't have to worry about. So, like I said, we really do appreciate her for that. And we want to give back to you guys. Like, it's not. Here's the thing: the stuff we're going to give out, we're obviously buying out of our pockets. Like, we're not. Full disclosure: I bought the shirts and paid almost $80 for the shirts. Now, mind you, all of us are getting shirts, but it wasn't $80 for just 3 shirts. So clearly there'll be some shirts you guys can win or get given to you. And there's going to be some other stuff. But I'm just saying, like, come out, support Clemento's, show us that you support us. Maybe you'll win something that you can take away from it and say, hey, I was here when they either succeeded great or failed epically like we did earlier with our first show that we tried to record today. Yesterday, actually, at this point.
Yep.
Everything, learning, growing, and evolving. I mean, I can't thank you guys enough. So, yeah, definitely come out and support us. I mean, we're getting close to hitting 2,000 downloads. I'm not going to say episodes like I said earlier in my flub because I've had enough
tonight.
There was
no flub. The episode doesn't exist.
I don't know. Tim seems like he ripped me for stuff I said in the episode. It didn't exist or because it didn't exist.
Hey. So here's what I'll say about all of that. If we weren't friends and we couldn't bullshit with each other like this, the episodes wouldn't be good.
No.
It just wouldn't be. So every episode, we find something for one of us, whether it's me being on mute or not being able to say Jaretwan 5000. You know,
Me just not being able to talk English whatsoever or text it. You know,
yeah,
it's
well,
fun.
yeah. And Tim forgetting to,
To edit out the edit.
well, and then not checking our equipment to see if it all fit together.
No, didn't do
We'll
that.
give him that one.
Me not understanding a new software that I was supposed to learn, but I
I'm
haven't.
watching the Red Sox game during recording.
They're
But whatever,
But and that's the thing, because I've listened to podcasts where you can tell they don't really like each other. And
they're just doing a job.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it, but there's definitely a podcast to be like True Crime. It's pretty popular. I'm sure you know it. Where you can tell they just fucking hate each other because they'll be like, "So what did you think about that? I thought it was good. Can you go? Like the next topic?" It's like, Jesus Christ! Like, why are you doing a podcast together? No, I wouldn't.
Because we like money.
I was going to say I've known Roland since I was a kid. I've known Tim, Tim for a few years now, and we've grown, become friends, talk about wrestling. It's fun.
I'm the glue that holds this podcast together. That's what Mongo just said. Right.
I mean, the Podfathers have to hold together because clearly if it was just up to me, I mean, last time I did edit an episode, look what happened when Tim wasn't here.
Hey, tread softly.
I'm not saying what the title was, but I'm just saying when he wasn't there, when he was at an undisclosed location. But now we're in a non-disclosed location in Tim's kitchen doing the first live one. It's been fun. It's been 2 of them technically.
Yeah.
And to be fair, there was about a month stretch where Mongo saved my ass because I was indisposed. So it clearly, if we didn't care about the wrestling and didn't care about a product that we thought you guys might like to listen to, we wouldn't do it. No. And if we didn't think it was something you want to listen to, something we enjoyed doing, why would we do it? That's the thing. You can tell that we enjoy each other's company. We enjoy, bullshitting about it, and it is what it is. Like Bongo said, you can tell if people don't have chemistry. But this is what you're going to get at the live show. You're going to get us bullshitting the fans, bullshitting with each other, and then that's what it's going to be. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
I clearly would take the verbal abuse if I wasn't friends with you guys.
Well, and this show, we want to thank you guys listening because we've come a long way. We started the show in the corner of my living room, and 98 episodes later, we have made it all the way to my kitchen.
Which is approximately 10 feet away.
Which is like 10 feet
from
away from where we started.
Should I knock the mic over?
Yeah, right? But in all seriousness, thank you guys for listening. I want to remind you, though, don't sleep on next week's episode. It's episode 99. We're going back to TNA 05. It's their big show. It's their WrestleMania. It's Bound for Glory 05. The TNA, everybody seems to like TNA, honestly. So
That's an hour, baby.
yeah, the 05 specials that we've been doing have been really well received by you guys. So back to that for next week. So we've been promoting episode 100 a lot, and it's going to be a fantastic show. Thanks to Comentos. But don't sleep on next week's episode for Bound for Glory 05.
Yeah, if you guys don't listen and stuff like that, I'll probably cry. And there's no reason to make me cry. I mean, I'm already a pretty emotional person as it is. Would you guys want to be responsible for that? Would you? Because that's mean. But anyways, no, like Tim said, don't skip over 98. Don't skip over 99. We know we're promoting the hell out of 100, but we're doing that because we want all you guys to be there and we want you guys to celebrate with us. It's going to be a great opportunity for us to either sink or swim in a live format. We'll find out one way or the other. Hopefully we sink. Maybe we'll float.
Hopefully we sink.
Well, here's my fuck up for the day. Hopefully we don't sink. Hopefully we float. But yeah, no,
the glue's taking us down.
Hey, even super glue doesn't hold the whole time.
Just don't put it in your hair like that girl did.
Right, yeah. I don't have enough fucking hair to put it in. But yeah, so, hopefully we don't sink. Hopefully everything goes well. And worst case scenario, it's a one-off. We never do it again, and you were there for it.
That's right. Yeah, who knows?
Best case scenario, you get to hear some tales from the high sea from the Jericho Cruise because, as this is recording, heading out on Wednesday. Hopefully get some content. The guys have put some stress on my shoulders. Feels a little heavy. Try to get Jericho to mention this podcast.
He has to. If he doesn't, it's a failed trip.
I mean,
it's a failed trip. We have waited, and by we, I'm saying Tim and I have waited almost 2 years for you to get Jericho to say our podcast.
But things happen.
All right. So you already failed up to the Mick Foley thing.
Yeah, about $10.
Yeah,
no, listen.
That's why I had to buy the cheap equipment. I had $10 extra.
Well, he supposedly he said he's going to listen, so hopefully you listen where he owes Tim $10.
He does.
Tim. What?
Tim $10. Tim turned the intern gets $10 totally.
Oh man!
No, even with all the teams, all that
again.
Rin Tin Tin Canine Cop. What? But anyways, yeah, no. come out and enjoy the show. And like Tim said, don't sleep on these next, this episode here and then the next one before we get there. It's going
we didn't sleep on this one because we mentioned.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I don't want. We keep promoting the 100. We want you guys.
Yeah,
to
we want
enjoy
people
the ones that get us to the 100.
And whether you
get
get
beyond,
and whether you're there
98
in
part two.
person, whether you're there in person or on our Facebook or YouTube live stream, because if you don't live within a stone's throw of Rochester, like Roland said earlier, that episode doesn't exist. If you're within an hour or two, come drive down, say hi, grab some amazing food, drink beer, watch Rampage with us. Watch us fuck up live in person or watch us succeed in person.
Watch us sink, damn it.
Right? So if you're online, you can watch it live too, and you can screen cap when I have my utterly holy shit face. But it's all right because either way, I think it's going to be fun. I've had some friends reach out, say that they want to come. Steve is a great host. He's going to take care of you. And if you've ever had a bad experience at Clemento's, go see Steve. He's only owned it for about a month now, but he will change your expectations. My future brother-in-law basically told me that he wouldn't go there for a while with the previous ownership. He went back, got his pizza, and he absolutely loves it. He drove from Sanford to get it, which is about 35 minutes. So he's going to take care of you. Steve's a good guy. That's why we wanted to work with him, because we knew there could be a fun environment. He's a huge wrestling fan, too. The staff there is wrestling fans. It's going to be a fun environment. Where else can you watch pizza, have a beer, get a steak and cheese and a beer for $12, watch Rampage, and shoot the shit with us?
Well, and Steve, to his credit, started the one in Manchester from scratch. So clearly he knows what he's doing. He then, didn't want to drive the hour, so now he has the one in Rochester, which is a godsend to us because I don't really want to drive to Manchester for a 100th episode. But it works out good. And Steve's doing everything he can to give Clemento's a good look for the people that were wronged. So, yeah, I mean, we're not saying, show up and demand things, but, like, if you tell Steve an experience you had, he'll make it right. I had an experience just before he took it over. I sent him a picture of a pizza that I got. And he responded with, nobody should get a pizza like that. Next time you order one, let me know and we'll take care of it. You get a free pizza because you shouldn't have had that pizza sent. And I'm actually, like I said, we're going to have that at the podcast. I plan on cashing in that free pizza, Steve. But no, seriously, anybody that has, kind of strayed away from going to Clemento's, give them another try. Steve will make it right. And even in the bad experiences, the food's still been really good for what it should be. So it's not like they're using bad ingredients or anything like that. So you're going to love it. If you had a bad experience, just forget about it. Because like I said, Steve, like Tim said, Steve, a month or so, Mongo said, I don't want you to said it. I can't remember. It's fucking almost 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm rambling now, but yeah, Steve will take care of you. And I'm just trying to see how many times to say Steve before we go off the air.
Steve!
So we have to wrap this up to, I think, make this considered a Linda episode. For those of you who don't know, that's Roland's mom, and she prefers our episodes on the shorter end of the spectrum.
Yeah, she doesn't like the hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
For the episode.
We're just under an hour right now.
Yeah. Which is about where we were with the other episode.
With the other episode, yeah. So
it's a 2 hour episode, but you get to hear one of it.
You get to hear part 2. You never got to hear part 1.
It's like History of the World Part 2 of the movie. There's no part 1, so it drove people by Mel Brooks. And Tim still hasn't seen Step Brothers, so make sure you tag him on Facebook every time you see him.
I am on Beer 2. Episode 2.
So I think we should stop on that.
Yeah, I think we should.
Bound for Glory 05 coming for you guys. We're coming at you guys. I don't know what I'm saying now. Coming at you guys next week, episode 100 the week after at Clemento. So
if we record it right.
If we record it right, yeah. Join us there. Thanks for listening, everyone. And hopefully we don't have to do a take 3 of this show. So have a good week. We'll be back next week. Everybody have a good week.
He's going to cut this out.
Steve!
No, I'm not cutting it out. I'm not going to get it out.
No, he forgot to cut the other one out.
That's what happened. He screwed up in the first episode. He just fucking deleted it. Right. He's like, it doesn't exist, guys.
All right.
Oh, fuck me.
Enough of this abuse. Anyways, take care. Have a good week. Until Bound for Glory 05. I don't know what I'm saying, guys. I don't know what's going on.
So we'll see you next Saturday at 5 for episode 99.
I'm just going to say, I'm Tim Kirk.
I'm Roland Pulis.
And I'm Mongo, hopefully.
And this is, I think, Wrestling with Wrestling Past and Present. It's too late.
A man choked his daughter.
A man ate his dog.
I hope you're all having a nice day.